YouTube? It's Elgato, the Gucci Gunner, back with another video. Today I'm just going to show you a quick run through of the setup. This is the gunsmithing setup, as well as where we make the Kydex holsters. Kydex holsters. So come on over and I'll get started on the left corner. So in this cabinet here, we have top shelf where we keep all of our Kydex. Right now, I'll just really stacked up on orange. Gotta order some more. Just made a few multicam black Kadura. Here on the second shelf, we've got just random boxes. Boxes from the Olight Minis, optic boxes, EOTech box, more boxes for or cases for pistols. Third shelf here, got some hydro dip material, some stakes, another little container for spare parts, and lower down there some old motorcycle helmets and miscellaneous items. Also up top, got some more film for Kydex. So we make our way over here to the station. This is where most of the gunsmithing takes place, where all of the gunsmithing takes place. Up top, you've got your brushes or chamber part brushes. We've got some bore snakes here. We've got a couple punches, got some CLP. Here we have modern Spartan systems, which I highly recommend for cleaning. We've got copper and lead destroyer, as well as carbon destroyer. Here we have some accuracy grease. This stuff here I live by. It's not your normal CLP for maintenance. This is more for I guess pre-maintenance per se. When you're getting ready to go to the range, slap on some Spartan grease anywhere that metal contacts, or is contacting with this friction. I put this on the night before I go to the range, and it runs straight throughout the range. I mean, there's no hiccups or anything. This stuff is really, it's not, like I said, not like CLP, but it's more of a grease. Let's see if I can show you here. You get that on camera? So it's more of a grease. And I've been using this for quite some time now, and you can see how much I've used. So Spartan accuracy gun grease here. Got some Loctite, some more CLP. Got my trusty rag here that I like to use. You gotta have your speaker. The wife bought this one, but it works well. The JBL, I don't know, what is it? The JBL Flip 5. Got some mats. Always gotta have a gun mat. Keep your parts up. And some random mail. Wounded Warrior Project and medical bills. Over here, more Kydex material. We've got some MRDs, we've got some eyelets, some foamy clips, monoblock clips, mod wing, G-code clips, gripper clips, stuff we use on our holsters here. These little bends, got some quarter-inch posts, some coyote eyelets, and we got some finishing washers, Odin green, some black. Got your drill when you're putting your finishers or finishing hardware, such as your mod wing or your belt clips. Over here is a thermal reader to measure the temperature of the Kydex when you're heating it up. Here we got a drilling plate for different size or different spacing, from quarter-inch to, I believe, up to, I'm not gonna tell you a number. I can't tell you exactly, but it's a drill guide. This mat here is actually an old barber mat that I was using when I was cutting hair, but it's got little magnets here, so I like to use that, as well as using this little magnet tray for small parts. We make up top back again, some more cleaning gear. Got some Q-tips. If you clean guns, you know about Q-tips. Got some latex gloves, because it can get a little greasy. So if we come back over here now, actually, let's come back this way. This little shelf here, this miscellaneous gear. Got some minor Kydex stuff. Got another press that I made myself. Got to put back into use. Chalk for the kids. Down below, some model cars and airplane that I need to get back to doing. So if we come over here, I'm a really big fan of Real Avid. Real Avid makes very durable and good gear. innovative gear for gunsmithing. So this is the Real Avid Master Vice. This thing is amazing. I'll just run through it really quick if you want to come in a little closer. So here, obviously, you know, open up your grips here, your vise. Now with Real Avid, you get this gun fit jaw. So you have a foamy side to keep from marring your firearm. You have a harder side. So what you would do is literally slap those on, slap it on. There's four of these little holes, 2 on each side, and you take this pen, and that helps lock it in place. So you can go ahead and do what you need to do. Now, where this gun vise really shines is in the manipulation. Right now, I have it locked. So if I need I'm installing a barrel or doing an optic, say I need it to be completely level, I can take this lever here and actually rotate and come back to a true level, up and down. Obviously, if you're installing sights, you need your firearm completely level to properly install. Also, again, like I was saying before, it's locked in place right now with this pin and also this lever. So say you're going in, again, putting together a firearm. You want to, you have to manipulate a certain way. Say you want to get down to the, to the lower receiver, and you have to angle it a certain way. All you gotta do is take out this pin here, pop this lever up, and now you're free to manipulate this vice grip any way and any orientation you need at any angle that you really need to do so. This is, again, the Real Avid Master Vice Grip. I highly recommend it if you're getting into gunsmithing, or if you just need a vice grip, for minor things that you're doing at home. I always recommend that you send your gun to a gunsmith if it's heavy work, such as bedding a rifle, say a bolt action, or if you're bedding a rifle, or if you're getting major upgrades. Obviously, drop-in triggers, things like that most people can do. But if you're getting really detailed work, recrowning the chamber, or recrowning the crown, or reaming the chamber, things like that, send it to a gunsmith. Don't try to do it yourself if you're not experienced. Up top here, we got some more, we've got some clamps. That's I use for kydex making. Up here we've got a master vice block for an upper receiver for 308, and we've got a lower vice block for 308. And then we have a lower vice block for your standard AR magwell. The thing I like about this one, this little lever here, you can rotate, and what it does is widens out this little lips here so you can get a tighter grip. So say you're doing an AR-10 or whatever, if you can fit it precisely to your magwell. So that's another good feature. Hex wrenches. Hex wrenches are kind of like golden when it comes to gunsmithing. So you need your hex wrenches. Here we have a label maker. Obviously you can see I label everything. Organization is key when gunsmithing or in any work environment. Organization is key, and it creates a better workflow. We got a label maker there. Over here, we got spare gun parts and a couple other things. Here's for bluing and actually, as well as removing, broken screws and things out of a firearm. Up here, some more rail parts and some grips for the Glock 19. Extra tools, spare rifle parts, got some pins in there. We got some ambi safety selector. We got a forward assist charging handle. In here, spare triggers. I always change out my triggers in my ARs. One of the first things I do, just because I'm a fan of upgraded triggers. As you can see here, we've got our Timney trigger chart for ranging from an AR to bolt action rifles down to handguns. So, and then here we've got some muzzle devices. Most of these are from pretty much all of my rifles, because all of my rifles have this dead air chemo muzzle device on there. Before we continue, we come back over here, and so in here, more rags. Up top here is a kit from Wheeler. This is the ring lapping kit for 30 millimeter. I do need to purchase one for a different millimeter for size millimeter tubes. This is a 30 millimeter tube ring lapping kit. I've gotten into ring lapping since I finished school. I did graduate from SDI right there with dual honors. So that's something that's pretty cool. It gave me some more confidence in knowing that I know what I'm doing. But I love lapping rings now, especially when you're building a custom rifle to, a shooter for a specific application. A lot of people, don't lap their rings, but when you lap the rings, it gives a custom fit to that optic and those ring scopes. So that's something I like to do. Here's some tape up top, used for kydex for blocking. Gotta have your shop rags. Got some here. Got more down below. Need to get some more actually. In this top case, again, and this is all Husky, as you can see, this cabinet made by Husky. This workbench setup is made by Husky. And then we'll go over to the end later. The other workbench is made by Husky as well as the tool cabinet or tool chest. But this is very convenient, the way they designed this. You got these little shelves up top here. So in this section here are all punches. Roll pin punches, starter punches, whatever type of punch you need, we have it here. Got some picks, taking out different tools or different pieces, of your firearm that you may need to take apart. This little top tray, we got a mask, comes down to sanding. You don't want to be breathing in plastic when you're doing kydex. It's very harmful in the long run, so I got a mask that I wear. A couple more buffing and polishing wheels. These were purchased as a kit of 3 from holstersmith.com. This cabinet, just more miscellaneous parts. So we got some snap caps for 308. We've got a, what's it called? I can't remember the name right now. You got this tool here, which is for bolts. This is for AR-10 specifically. This is in case you need to break down your bolt. What you would do is twist this backwards here, drop your bolt in, lock it down on top of the ejector or the ejector, I'm sorry. And this way you can completely break down your bolt. So you can take out the ejector, take out the extractor, the spring and things like that. Some more miscellaneous stuff. We got a go, no-go gauge for 308. Got some band-aids because you always cut yourself when gunsmithing or making kydex holsters. Some more miscellaneous stuff. This is a really cool tool from Wheeler as well, I believe. But this is for your pivot pin and takedown pin to install. What else? Up here, again, another punch set by Wheeler. This here is my digital calipers. So when you're doing headspace and different other per se projects, when building a firearm, you need digital calipers to get precise measurements of things. Got some gloves to handle heated up kydex. Some workout books for me and the wife. I'm hitting the gym. Gotta have your tray, man. And a Disney owner manual for a ride car. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah. Every gunsmith should, or most likely will, have reference material near their workstation. At least I believe every gunsmith should. And the most important being the shooter's Bible. This here will help you along the way when you're breaking down firearms. If you need schematics, if you need parts for a firearm, this will help you out, especially if it's a firearm that you're not familiar with. This will give you schematics. Again, it'll give you exactly what part that it is you need as far as breaking down, putting together a firearm. So again, and some other stuff from school, gunsmithing tools lab, cleaning firearms lab, kydex lab, ring lapping, fastener repair. What else? Oh, Natchez shooting as well, magazine or catalog from them. Okay, so focus back to this here, safety goggles or glasses. Again, These will go on if I'm not wearing the mask, if I'm just using the rotary tool here to do, some finishing, sanding per se, getting really small corners or whatever on Kydex. I'll throw these on because that plastic does start to fly and hit you everywhere. Air hose. This is for spraying out your Kydex after you sand it and buff it, making sure it's clean, good to go before you ship it off to the customer. Here we have our heat gun. This is gonna come in handy, or it comes in handy a lot, especially when building Kydex. Just purchased a heat strip, which will be utilized as well when you're trying to get a specific bend, but I use this a lot when I make OWB holsters to get that nice bend, or if I'm making IWB holsters to get that nice bend for the waist. And here we have an eyelet setter, which was purchased from Gunsmith as well. Pretty self-explanatory. It's an eyelet setter. You have your eyelets in whatever piece of material you're doing, sheets, holsters. Drop it in, line it up, drop it down. And what it does is it closes the opposite side of the eyelet that's open and rings it over. So if we make our way here now, this is our toaster oven where we heat up our Kydex. You can use this, or you can use your oven, which your wife probably won't approve of, because then your food and house gonna start smelling like plastic. But this is where majority of the plastic gets heated up. I use the oven in case of a pretty decent size piece of Kydex that I need to use for making a holster. But I either planning on getting another one of these or actually a heat press, maybe like a 12 by 12. So that way I can heat up an entire piece of Kydex without having to use the oven. Come back over here for a second. This is a pretty cool kit by Wheeler as well. As you can tell, I love Wheeler. This is the scope mounting kit. So it comes with a level that actually attaches to the barrel, completely levels off the firearm, and then a true level that you can put on top of the scope. Comes with a laser bore sight that actually goes on front of the firearm. So you don't have to worry about taking out the bolt and things like that. This goes on top, in front, right on top of the muzzle brake or muzzle device that you have. And you pretty much just to get you on paper. You have a reflective sheet here that is used to help you get your optic in line with your bore. And then you have a torque wrench there. But this is a pretty cool kit I want to show you by Wheeler. That's a scope mounting kit. So if we come this way now, towards the end, got a fan because it gets hot in here. So first up, we have our drill press. This is for creating holes in your Kydex or your sheath to put those eyelets in, or to install your finishing hardware such as mod wings or belt loops or QLS mountings like that, things like that. Behind that, we have our dual buffer sander over here. It's another buffing pad, and then we have our polishing pad here. Right here is a 12 by 12 foam press, similar to the one that I built, but this one is more 30, and this one actually is bolted into the workbench here. Again, Husky workbench. I can't remember the exact diameter of this one, but I know it's a 72 inches in length, and it's an adjustable height. And this is the Husky tool cabinet. Cool because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plugs, and then 2 USB ports for charging. We make our way this way, we have our belt sander. Pretty self-explanatory. After you get your cuts on your Kydex, then you want to sand it down, make sure all the edges are even. And then over here, last but not least, we have our bandsaw, which is where we get our cuts for our Kydex. After we form it, let it cool off, and mark it off how we want it cut, and we come over here. So I have it set up in a specific order. I start here at my bandsaw, sand it. This is the only one out of place just because of room. So what I actually do, start there, heating up the Kydex. I form it, let it cool. I sit over at the workstation, draw up the design, and I come here to the bandsaw, cut it, come to the sander, sand it down, jump over to the drill press, get my holes drilled, and then I'll come back and buff it and polish it once it's completed, and then I'll mount my hardware. Up top here, or before we go in, a ruler used for a straight edge to score your kydex. And we have a cutting pad up here, dual-sided, dark and light side. Flip it over here and there. And we have clamps. These clamps will go on because when you're using, actually let's go over here before I go to what the clamps I'm using for. So up top, main tools for your, for creating or building a firearm or repairing a firearm. Got your wrenches here, opening socket wrenches. Allen wrenches back there. Got your hammer. This is for old school hand guards. This is a hand guard tool to easily take off an old school hand guard. But most rifles now are using free floating hand guards. This is a master vice block, or master vice bench block, whatever you want to call it. This side is magnetized for pin storage and things like that. Up top you have your lower receiver mount, your bolt, the front sight, upper receiver, different ways to work around. This is a real, and again, I'm a huge advocate for Real Avid. This is a Real Avid Master Vice Bench Block. This is a Real Avid scraper tool, so this is for bolt cleaning. These different grooves and cuts are made for specific regions in the bolt to clean out. I'm not gonna go through that entirely. If you come in closer, you see I have 4 armorer's tools. By far, the Real Avid is the best one. It's worked on my 300, it's worked on my ARs, and it's worked on my 308s, both of them. The way they designed it, it fits all the lug locks, or the little cut-ins in the lug, you know, the barrel nut, sorry. But this one's worked the best. I did have to resort to the Magpul armorer's tool for the 300 Blackout. I believe that was before, no, that was after I got them. So this one didn't work on the 300, but I have 2 more. This here is a upper receiver lug lock. This is for primarily installing barrels. So what you do, you place this in to the upper receiver. This goes obviously into the lug locks. And this back here, you would actually it's on top of the vice grip, or vice, sorry. But this is the lock. So you would actually lock this in back here, lock that in, and so that will be locked into your upper receiver. So this way you can apply max amount of torque that you'll need, torque that you'll need for installing a barrel. And then we've got a couple torque wrenches in there as well. Now, if you come back in closer, I bypass all the others because that's just miscellaneous stuff. This is my blocking drawer. Got a blue gun for Glock 19 with the TLR7 on there, TLR1 mold. Got a Surefire X300 mold. This is a Glock 17, completely prepped. This is a prepped mold, as well as this Prodigy 4.25 prepped mold. Got a dual mag aluminum mold, and then just some more miscellaneous blocking material, such as retention plates. This is for a P320 compact at a Glock 19. And actually I follow a guy on YouTube called FoulTech Unlimited, and he introduced me to MWF board. So that's what I've been making a lot more of my retention plates out of. So this is for an MR920L from Saddle Systems with a TLR7. This is for Prodigy 5-inch with no light source. Then I have Glock 17 with a TLR1 and a couple more. But again, this is all just blocking material for building kydex. So back to what I was saying, this clamp. You can see how thick those guns are. The blue gun, we'll use this for example. When you have this end and your kydex inside of here, you can see how much space, I guess per se, space in between, right? So the thing with making holsters, you want to get as tight of a press as you can. So that's what this chain here is for. One, you would come down, lock that in, like such. And then what I do is take my clamps and put both of them on to apply more pressure and really get a tight fit. And that's how you get a good form on your mold. So that's pretty much the shop setup for OOC Defense, which is coming soon. And this is where I abandoned my family. But yeah, this is the setup for OOC Defense. You gotta have a stool, which you don't really sit on much. You sit down and think or read through some reference material, and you stand up and continue working. So again, this is El Gato, the Gucci Gunner, and that's the OOC Defense gunsmithing / kydex shop setup. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything you have questions on, of what tools I use or the setup, please hit me up in the comments below. Again, I love to interact with you guys, answer questions, hear your feedback, whether it's negative or positive. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to grow this channel. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.